Good morning, magic players and card collectors of all kinds. Welcome back to the channel. We are back in the car, as you can see. My dad is at home right now. I suspect he's not going away today because he wants me to take the car in later today to get it assessed, make sure that it, was properly safetied and not some bullshit by fly-by-night dealership, as he calls it. I don't know. Personally, I'm also thinking that we'll stop by the dealership today and cancel the warranty because I'm not really sure I want to keep that. That's an extra $1,500 I could give back to my dad right away, which means I'd only owe him $3,500. That's a lot more feasible for me than $5,000. And I mean, I don't know. It seemed really sketchy, the whole thing all around, so I'm just not super comfortable with it. But anyways, that's a bunch of random nonsense, and that's not what you're here for. You're here for Tuesday. And Tuesday represents one thing on this channel, and we all know what that is. It's time for Dollarama Draws of Destiny! As you guys know, we are doing smaller episodes of Dollarama Draws of Destiny now because of the lack of funds available. So I am doing only 3 packs today. It'll be a shorter episode like last week, but hopefully we will pull another legendary and keep the streak alive. Can't remember if we pulled a legendary the other day or not. Cannot remember when we did the mini one on Sunday. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick episode of this with you guys. Chat about a couple things. Chat about work. Work is going okay so far. I started going back to doing my safety committee stuff, so I'm going to get more hours at least that way, which is a positive thing. And then it's just a matter of seeing where things go from there. Hopefully I can find a second job. I am looking, but no luck so far. Biggest thing is just trying to find the time. Every time I turn around, like every day in the last 2 weeks pretty much, I don't think I've had one day where I actually just sat at home all day after work. There was always like stuff to do, and so it's been very exhausting, but I'm hoping that I will finally catch a break later this week. Even though Friday I do have to stay after work late to do a whole bunch of work for the safety committee, but it is what it is. Also, Kaiba is at home. Unfortunately, I will try and film something with Kaiba to tack on at the end of this video. I'm not going to try and split up the packs today. I just think that's it's a nice thing to do, to split up the packs, but I think, okay, fine. I'll split up the packs. I'll open this one first, and I'll open these 2 last. And I'll put some Kaiba stuff in the middle instead. I think that's better, yeah. So you'll get to see 1 pack now. You'll get to see 2 packs after Kaiba. But the main thing I wanted to say was we were going to start something new on the channel, I was hoping. I was actually really excited about it. I bought an advent calendar for dogs for Kaiba, and it's like 24 little puppy cookies, and I thought that would be amazing and you'd really enjoy it. Unfortunately, I did not see, or maybe I just didn't read carefully enough, I'm not sure which, that the cookies are icing covered cookies, and he, for whatever reason, just does not like anything with icing on it. It's strange because he loves he loves ice cream. He'll eat whipped cream. He'll have birthday cake with me if I have birthday cake, as long as it's not chocolate, of course. But even cream cheese, he loves cheesecake actually. But he will not eat regular icing off of like a cookie that's like hardened icing or whatever. He just does not like it. So I'm not sure if it's sensitivity to his teeth or whatever, but unfortunately that mini series probably isn't going to take off. I'm going to try and give him another cookie today and see when I get home, probably after our walk, but I don't think I'm going to get very far. I'm currently sitting outside of Shoppers. I have to go grab my cases of Coke for the week. And then I'm heading home to see my baby. Oh no, I have to stop at the Dollarama because I keep forgetting to buy poop bags. So I need to do that today. Because the box ran out Sunday and I only have like 5 bags left in my pocket. So he needs me to buy a new one, or he needs to hold in his poop. And I don't think Kaiba's going to be happy with that second option. All right, pack number 1. What we got? Ooh, we got a Radiant Grove to kick things off. It does enter the battlefield tapped, which is unfortunate, but you can search it, forest and plains. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. Snoop, we got a searchable land. Ooh. And next. Oh, we got another Hickory Woodlot. I love this card. I was really excited when we pulled this the last time because I wanted to put it into my proliferating Atraxa deck. It's not the regular Atraxa. It's the fun Atraxa that costs a lot more to put into play and does the weird pack top of the deck trick. But anyways, I really like this card because it comes into play tapped with 2 depletion counters on it. Whenever you tap this, you put a depletion counter or take a depletion counter off it and you get 2 green mana instead of 1. But if there's nothing left on it, you have to sacrifice it afterwards. So the goal is to put into a deck where you can actually just keep proliferating counters. So I'm going to have to figure out another way to do that. But I really do love this card, and it's an awesome land to have a second copy of. The downside, it's really funny. I looked this up actually on Collector too before I continue. This is worth like $2.50, maybe $3 Canadian, which isn't bad. But if I pulled the holo version of this, it would be worth like $45, $50 Canadian. So it's kind of funny. But still, really cool land. So that's 2 lands in a row. And now we have a Borderland Ranger. Also mentioning land. 2 and a green for 2/2. When it enters the library, you can search your library for basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. Nice. Torch Drake. Okay, we're getting off the topic now. 3 and a blue for 2/2 with flying, and pay 1 and a red to give this thing +1/+0 until end of turn. Interesting. Probably not going to play that much. I'm going to put that mid. I figure there's got to be some good quality to that, but I'm just not seeing it right now. House Guildmage. A black and a blue for a 2/2. Pay 1 and a blue, tap it. Target creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Neat. Pay 2 and a black, tap, surveil 2. Also neat. This is very versatile. I like this card. That is definitely going to the front. Put the Radiant Grove there. We got Cloud Crusader. 2 and 2 white for a 2/3 with flying and first strike. Heck yes, that's an awesome card. 4, a green, a white, and a blue. That's expensive. Soul of Emancipation. It's a creature. It's an avatar. Interesting. 5/7. When this thing enters a battlefield, destroy up to 3 other target non-land permanents. For each of those permanents, its controller creates a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying. Huh. So in theory, you want to destroy your own stuff and give yourself a bunch of angels. But if you have something complicated on the field that you need to get rid of, there is that option too. So I kind of like that. It's expensive. I wish it was a legendary because then you could at least play it as a commander. That's probably going to get countered the moment you try to put it into play, unfortunately. I'm still going to put it at front, though, because that is a neat ability. Ashmouth Hound. 1 and a red, 2/1. When it blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, it deals 1 damage to that creature. You're 2/1, though. That's pretty lame. You can go in the middle with the Torch Drake. I'm not going to bottom you because I'm not that mean, but... Mandibular Kite. Mandibular Kite. I can't say it quite right. I can't say it quite right. 1 and a white for a living weapon, so you get a germ when this comes into play. And the equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has flying. Equip 3 and a white. That's expensive to equip, but I mean, it's a decent equipment. I'm going to put it in the front, but it's not quite as good as the Cloud Crusader, the House Guildmage, or the Emancipation. Actually, I think the House Guildmage is my favorite one so far. We're going to put it in that order right now. Testament Bearer. 3 and a black for 4/1. Ew. When this thing dies, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 into your hand and the rest in your graveyard. I don't like that. I'm going to bottom that. Terramorphic Expanse. Classic land with some nice artwork on it. Take 2 steps north into the unsettled future, south into the unquiet past, east into the present day, or west into the great unknown. Cool. I like the flavor text on that one. Next up, we got Sidisi's Pet. Sidisi? Yeah, Sidisi. 3 and a black for a 1/4. Well, that's better than normal. Zombie Ape, Lifelink, and Morph 1 and a black. You can cast it as a 2/2 face down and then pay 3. Or no, paying 3 to do so, and then you pay 1 and a black to flip it. I mean, I do like that it has lifelink. I like that it has a solid butt. I'm going to put it front. Why not? It's not as good as these 3, but I mean, it's still right there with the kite, basically. Ambush Wolf, 2 and a green, 4/2, flash. When this thing enters, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. That's mid-worthy. I don't like that as a 4/2. Otherwise, that could have went front, but... Then we got Dromoka Doomcaster. 1 white for a 0/2, pay 1 and a white, tap target creature without flying. Okay. That's mid. That's definitely mid. And we finish with Unknown Shores. Tap to add colorless, or pay 1 and tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Solid land. Solid land. Not as good as the Hickory. The Hickory is definitely going to the front with the other, like, 3 major hits so far. But I'm liking this. This isn't bad. That was a good first pack. Get you guys some Kaiba content, and then we'll be back with the other 2 packs. And then I gotta get home. Alright, see you in a bit. I'm working on it. Oh my goodness. I know. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah? Watch out. Yeah? Oh my goodness. Cuteness overload. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What if I make you a snowball? Will that make it work? Can I finish the deck then? Yeah? Okay. I'm working on it. I have to do it one-handed. It's hard. Ready? Apparently shoveling one-handed and videotaping is harder than it looks. Oh my goodness. Yeah? There you go. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah? Is you a little crazy? Are you really a little crazy? Yeah. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Look at that face. That is the face of somebody who wants a snowball. And whose daddy is taking too long. But look, I'm making a really good one. Oh! I'm making a really good one. Look, see? I'm making a really good one. Okay. Okay, ready? Ready? Ooh! I hit the ladder. Oops. Sorry, baby. That was a wicked hook. One pack down, 2 packs to go. See if our destiny is hot or not. So far, no legendary, but we pulled some seriously cool stuff in that first pack, so I'm not going to complain. I am not going to complain at all. Oop, this pack's got some interesting things going on. It's front and back and upside down and all around. These are the newer version of the packs, so I suspect some of these might have Spider-Man cards, or if we're really lucky, maybe even some Avatar. That would be cool. Here we go. Ooh, we got an Emerald Dragonfly. I love this thing. It is a classic old card. I only have one copy of it, so it's nice to get a second one. 1 and a green for a 1/1 with flying, and then you can pay 2 green to give it first strike until end of turn. I think that's just really cute. I love the artwork on it. It is one of my favorite old school cards that I've pulled out of these packs before. Mainly for the artwork, but I really think it's fun to play with. I can't remember what deck I put my first one in, but I think I put it into a mono green deck maybe. But anyways, very cool. Unraveling Mummy. Unraveling Mummy has 1 white and 1 black for an effect. Or, sorry, 1 white and black to put into play, 2/3. And then 1 and a white, target zombie gets lifelink. Or 1 and a black, target zombie gets death touch. Or you could do both as many times as you want, which is a pretty solid card for zombies. A Shaggy Camel. That is an unset card, so that is not going to be helpful to me. But when it enters, when this creature enters the battlefield, blah, 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 or blah, 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 creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Interesting unset card. Quandrix Campus. Enters tapped, taps for green or blue. Pay 4 to tap and scry 1. That's pretty lame, to be honest. That is a pretty expensive effect for a card that is not super good, after all. So I'm going to switch that nice Radiant Grove there, and I'm going to put the Quandrix Campus there, because that's where it belongs. Vantress Paladin. 3 and a blue for a 2/2 with flying and adamant. Okay, this is a new thing for me. If at least 3 blue mana was spent to cast a spell, this thing gets to enter with a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay. That's decent. I'm not going to complain about that. It's probably going to go into a mono blue deck anyways, or a deck that has a ton of blue, so I think that's a good card. Legendary Artifact Vehicle counts technically now. Thank you, Wizards of Coast, for changing the rules. I can count this as our first legendary of the day. 3/4/4/3 with Island Walk, which is pretty kick butt. Whenever this thing attacks, if an assassin crewed it this turn, draw a card. This thing becomes an assassin in addition to its other types until end of turn. Crew 1. I'm assuming this is from the Assassin's Creed set. So neat. First legendary of the day. Happens to be a vehicle, but I'll take it. A Johnny's Pride Mate. That's pretty solid. 1 and a white for 2/2. Whenever you gain life, you get to put +1/+1 counter on this thing. Definitely going to be great in a life gain deck, which white likes to do. And yes, that's my first grade of the day. We will put you there. We got ourselves a swamp. I'll put the swamp back here with the other, with the Quandrix. Ooh, we got ourselves a Pandorica. The Pandorica. Okay, this is from Doctor Who, apparently. 2 and a white. You may choose not to untap the Pandorica during your untap step. Sure. Pay 1 and a white, tap, untap another target non-land permanent. Then it phases out. It can't phase in for as long as this thing remains tapped. When this thing becomes untapped or leaves the battlefield, that thing phases back in. Interesting. That's pretty cool, actually. I think that's actually a decent hit. Might be the best hit of the day. I don't like the fact that it comes only in white, though. If this thing came as colorless, this thing would be very versatile, but I will still play this, probably. Field Research. 2 and a blue, kicker 2 and a blue. Draw 2 cards. If it was kicked, draw 3 cards. I'm not going to probably kick that. That's an expensive kick to get 1 extra card. Dagger Sail Aeronaut. 3 and a red for a 3/2 goblin. As long as it's your turn, this thing has flying. I'll play that. That'll probably go in one of my goblin decks eventually. Deep Analysis. 3 and a blue. Target player draws 2 cards. Flashback 1 and a blue. Pay 3 life. That's a bit of a steep flashback, but I'll probably use that in some deck or another. I think that's probably mid-worthy. Homerite Explorer. When it enters the battlefield, target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. Damn. 3/3. For 3 and a blue. That's harsh. And we end on Boldovian Berserker. 2 and a red. For a 1/3 with Enlist, whenever this thing attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control without summoning sickness and then add its power to this creature's. And when this creature dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Not bad. Definitely right now, I'm going to say that I think the first pack still had the better hits overall by far comparison. But that Pandorica, I think, is the hit of the day. I really do. I think that is going to end up being the hit of the day, because that is pretty cool. The ability to phase things in and out is awesome. I have an insanely fun deck that I could put that into to help my flashing stuff deck that deals pain damage when stuff doesn't leave the battlefield. And yeah, or I can just build a whole new deck around that concept, which would be fun. Either way, pretty happy with the pull. Definitely happy with that pull. I can say that for sure. We have hit some good destiny today, ladies and gentlemen, and we still have 1 pack to go. Here we go. Glimmerburn, 1/2, which is nice. Sacrifice a token, though, and it gets +2/+2 until end turn. I mean, if you're going to play a tokens deck where you actually want to sacrifice this stuff, this thing is pretty useful. Otherwise, If you gave it flying, I would probably put it more into a lot more decks, but ooh, we got a mech hanger. Tap stat colorless. Tap to add 1 mana of any color, but you have to use it to cast a pilot or a vehicle. Pay 3, tap, target vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Nice. That is a very versatile land. I like that. Swamp, not so much. I mean, it's always good to have more swamps, but I really need more forest than anything else. Still. 1 white for 2/1, Loyal Pegasus, flying, and it can't attack or block alone. Okay. I wish it was a unicorn instead of a Pegasus, but I don't think that's terrible. Juggletron. Unfortunately, it is an unset card, so it's not going to be playable in regular decks. But it is a cool card. I actually like this one. It's funny. So you get to pay 2 and a red for a 0/4, which has trample. And you think, why would you want a 0/4 to have trample? Well, whenever it attacks, you may put an art sticker on it. And whenever, and based on how many items are in its art that are not touching the Juggletron, or another item, or the card frame, that determines how big its power is, based on +3/+0 for each. So this thing can get pretty insanely huge, actually, if you play well and if you put your stickers neatly on it. Ooh, that's an old school... Nope, not quite. 2001. Almost an old school card. 2 and a black for a 2/2 zombie druid called Quagmire Druid. Pay green, tap, sacrifice a creature, destroy target enchantment. Interesting. As the druids had devoted their lives to preserving Dominaria, so did they devote their deaths. I like this. I like that card a lot, actually. Is that my favorite hit of the day? Not quite. That's probably second best, though. Right behind the Pandorica. I think the Pandorica is still going to be the hit of the day so far, though. We'll just tuck all these right there for now. And keep going. Archivist of Gondor. 2 and a blue for a 2/3 when your commander deals combat damage to a player. If there is no monarch, you become the monarch. At the beginning of the monarch's end step, that player draws a card. Interesting. I kind of like that guy. Can definitely give myself some more decks with monarch. I'm not going to deny that being fun. Congregation Griff. 1 green and white for a hippogriff mount. So yay, more mounts. It's a 1/4 with flying and lifelink. Whenever this thing attacks while saddled, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of mounts you control. Nice. Saddle 3. I like that. That is definitely going to make my mounts deck really good. Seagraph Scab. 1 and a blue for a 1/3 that does nothing. But it has flavor text. Your recent work in an inspiration. I have the utmost respect for your approach, and your craft is impeccable. As at your convenience, I would be honored to collaborate on a project. Ludovic, letter to Geralf. Lashweed Lurker. 8 for a 5/4 with Emerge 5 in green and blue. When you cast this thing, you may put a non-land permanent on top of its owner's library. Giant Cockroach. 3 and a black for a 4/2 with some flavor text. It's not even old school, technically. Moldgraph Scavenger. 1 and a green for a 0/4 with Delirium. It gets +3/+0 as long as there are 4 more card types in your graveyard. It is a fungus. I do want more fungi for my fungi deck. So, I mean, that's not terrible, but it's not super great. I'm going to mid that, probably. Desperate Bloodseeker. Whoops. Don't fall over on me, pile. Lifelink 2/2 Vampire for 1 and a black. And when it enters the battlefield, target player mills 2 cards. I like this. This is very good. This is very good. Epiphany Storm. 1 red. Enchant creature. Enchant creature has pay red, tap, discard a card, draw a card. Interesting. That's a good enchantment for sure. And we end on Bard's Bow. 2 and a green. Final Fantasy card, job select. So it enters with a... when it enters, you create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token and attach this thing to it. Quick creature gets +2/+2, has reach, and is a bard in addition to its other types. Perseus Bow. Equip 6. Attached to target creature you control, equip only as a sorcery. Huh. It's expensive as hell to equip. Alright, I mean, I can't say the Destiny wasn't good to us today. We had some really good cards. We had some very, very good cards today. Like, this stack right here is all pretty decent stuff. Up till maybe about there. I'd say, like, that almost is an entire pack. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, that's over an entire pack. So decent Destiny today for sure, guys. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the little Kaiba clip. I hope you guys enjoyed the cards, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Much love to you all from Kaiba at home, and myself to you. Take care, and thank you for watching. Bye.